Hello friends, and welcome back to another episode of TM3 Life. And today I've got some big news. I've decided to take a trip across the country and back. Now I know this has been done before. I'm not the first one by any means to take a fully electric vehicle across the United States and back. And I'm not the first one to take a Tesla across the United States and back. And I'm certainly not the only one to take a Model 3 across the United States and back. What I do think will be different with my trip, I'm going to see how inexpensive you can actually do this trip and enjoy yourself. So the only expenses I intend to incur would be for food, supercharging fees, and any activities or monuments and things like that that I'd like to go and see. Other than that, that should be hopefully the only expenses I need to incur. Now I'm sure you're all asking, well, what about housing, hotels or whatnot. So my plan is to use the car, as everyone talks about using it, as a camper. So I am going to sleep in my Model 3. So I've chosen a 5-inch gel-infused memory foam mattress to go from the trunk over the top of the folded down rear seats. Now obviously I can't take a shower in my Model 3, so those are things I need to figure out. I know there are some truck stops that offer showers, and I will be visiting some friends across the country hopefully, and I'm sure one of them will offer me to use one of their showers. And if worse comes to worse, obviously I will get something inexpensive like a hostel maybe and get a shower in that way. It's going to be a very exciting trip. I have the whole itinerary planned, and I'm willing to meet up with any of you that would like to meet up. If there's any Tesla clubs of any kind across the US that would like to meet up, and you're going to be in one of these locations that I'm going to be heading to, I'd be more than happy to meet up with you. Just keep in touch with me via either Instagram or Facebook or on my YouTube channel, or also on Twitter, and hopefully we can connect that way. So the itinerary is going to be this. I will be leaving from Vermont and heading to South Bend, Indiana. From South Bend, Indiana, I'll be going up through Wisconsin, Minnesota, and into North Dakota. From North Dakota, I'm going to head down into South Dakota, as I do plan on going to see Mount Rushmore, and then hopping a little bit further over the mountain, I'm going to go see Crazy Horse. From Crazy Horse, I am going to shoot up through Wyoming, Montana, Idaho, and into Seattle, Washington. And we'll do the Space Needle there, and there's another little stop I'm going to make while I'm in Washington. And then from Washington, I'm going to head down to Fremont, because what's a trip across the United States with a Tesla unless you're going to go to the place where your Tesla was built. So that'll be kind of a fun little adventure to take a car that was built in Fremont, California, sent to Vermont, and then have it end up back in Fremont, California. So I will do a tour of the Tesla factory there. Hopefully Bill will take some video for you. From Fremont, California, I'll be heading to Santa Monica, California, where I hope to pick up old Route 66. This has just been one of my checklists that I've had for a very long time. I guess a bucket list, if you will. I'm not sure how long I'll be on Route 66, but I definitely plan on seeing some of the attractions on Route 66. And then I will be heading up to the Four Corners in, I believe, Shiprock, New Mexico. From Four Corners, we'll be heading down to Albuquerque, New Mexico, across Amarillo, Texas, into Oklahoma City. From Oklahoma City, we're going to head out to Wichita, Kansas. From Kansas, we're going to go ahead and head up to Lincoln, Nebraska. From Nebraska, we're going to head kind of back down again into St. Louis, Missouri. And from St. Louis, Missouri, I'm going to head right back up across Pennsylvania and along the same route I'm taking out from Vermont back home. So that's kind of the itinerary. I planned this out using a better route planner, and I will link that in the description below, where I'll put it on the screen here. so you all can go out there and check it out. The nice thing about that is it tells you where all the superchargers are, it plans it all out, so you can actually put in, I want to go from here to here, what superchargers am I going to need to stop at, how long am I going to need to be at the supercharger, and you can put in a whole bunch of different criteria as to how fast you're going to be driving, if you really want to get technical, what kind of wind shear you're going to be experiencing. It's really cool. So then what you can do is once you have the separate segments of your trip planned out, or if it's just one segment, that's fine, you can then share that to a bunch of different links, so you can share it to different map programs. I would share it to Google, pop it into my Google Maps, and then from Google Maps, of course, I can send it into the navigation on the car. So it should work out really well for me, and I'm pretty excited about it. The only part I'm a little nervous about is, of course, in the North Dakota, northern Montana areas, there are no superchargers yet. They do plan to have a whole section of superchargers across that section of the United States by the end of this year. That doesn't help me now. Another interesting facet, of course, of this trip is I'm leaving Monday the 21st of January. So I'm dead in the middle of winter here, and that could pose some challenges. Battery range being sucked away due to the cold temperatures, and there's also a test I haven't completed yet, and I probably should do it before I go, and hopefully I will, and if I do, you'll come along with me for that test as well. But I'd like to test out how much energy is the car going to consume if I am keeping the climate control on. As a lot of you know, with one of the most recent updates, there was the option to keep the climate control on even if you're going to step away from the car if the car's off. And that's what I'm going to do, kind of like a quote-unquote camper mode, so that I can stay warm in my Model 3, and it's going to be great. And the way that I've looked at it, once the mattress is in against where the back of the rear seats are, I have a beautiful panoramic view through the glass roof. I do plan on uploading as much as I possibly can. Of course, there are going to be some days where I'm just going to be traveling because there's no stops I really need to make, and I just need to get to my next spot in the destination. But I would like to say every other day, or at least every 3 days, there's going to be a new upload. You can see how things are going, what I've experienced, problems I've run into, and you guys can essentially come across the trip with me. And I'll be keeping a rolling total of the cost as I go. And it's going to include everything that I spoke about earlier. So we'll have a full running cost. Now, this is my first trip across the US in a car. So I would be very welcome to any information that you guys might have, because I'm sure a lot of you have taken trips across the country. I'm more than happy to if you guys would please put down in the comments below things that you say, hey, this is a must-see for this location, or this is the place you definitely want to avoid, or I had issues with superchargers here, and here, or anything like that. I also plan on using supercharger reviews through Now You Know. I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with the Now You Know channel, our friends Zach and Jesse. So I'll be using that to determine which superchargers I really do want to stop at, because a lot of these places I'm going to need Wi-Fi in order to upload these videos for you. So another aspect of this trip is, of course, preparation, not only for myself and what I plan on bringing, but also preparation for the car. My OG subscribers and maybe some of my new subscribers, if you've checked out some of my later videos, you'll know that I had some issues when I got my car. I had really bad paint quality, as a lot of other people have also experienced as well. Mine was some of the worst. They had my car for approximately a 2-month period to essentially nearly repaint the entire car. So it was a long process, but they have made things right with me. I'm very happy with the outcome. The car looks beautiful. My last video, a lot of people complained that I was whining and complaining and blah, blah, blah. I do want to just state that I'm very happy with how Tesla stands behind their product, and no matter what is wrong with it, they will make it right. And during that entire time, that 2-month period, they did give me a Tesla loaner, and it wasn't the best looking Tesla loaner. As a lot of you pointed out, and one thing that I forgot to mention in that video was I was very happy to have that Tesla loaner. Even though it was kind of a beat up Tesla, it was still a Tesla. And I'd much rather have a Tesla that's beat up to crap than a brand new gas car. Because the whole point of being self-sufficient, I have solar and battery backup and an electric vehicle. The whole point of all this is to be as green as we can be, and to help the environment, right? And of course to have all the cool latest tech. Wink. I mean, we all know that's why we do it. Having them provide me with a Tesla loaner was amazing. because I was still able to live the Tesla life and charge and run on power and really do everything that I would normally do if I had my own car. So they went above and beyond. They made everything right with me, and I'm very happy with the outcome. Anyway, back to the preparation for the vehicle. So yes, I am wondering, what can I do to the vehicle to prepare it for the trip? One of the very first things that I wanted to do to the vehicle when I originally got it was to have expelled on the entire front of the vehicle. So that's going to cover the hood, fenders, bumper, mirrors, so the entire front of the car, headlights and fog lights, all that. And I wasn't able to do that because of all the paint defects. So, and then of course when I got it back, it was fresh paint. Can't touch fresh paint for 45 days. So it's been a little bit of time now. We're definitely past the 45-day period. I've been living through Vermont winter, been avoiding interstates and things like that, and really keeping good following distances, really trying to keep the front of that car preserved so that when it finally gets wrapped, it's in good shape. And that's what the car is now. So I can't show you the car because the car is actually being wrapped as we speak. The one last piece of this puzzle is, currently I am still driving on the all-season tires that came with the car. I have an all-wheel drive, and I'm a very good winter driver. I was born and raised in Vermont. I know how to handle myself in very deep snow and also icy conditions. So having an all-wheel drive with all-season tires has been fine here. But I'm going to places that I've never been, especially some of these northern states like Minnesota, North Dakota, Montana, Idaho. They could have some serious snow that's even bigger than what I've seen here in Vermont. So I've purchased a set of Michelin X-Ice winter tires, and once I get the car back from the wrap, hopefully on early Saturday morning I'll have the winter tires installed. With those two protection items put in place, I think that's a great start to a trip like this. If there are things that you think I should be doing that I haven't done or I haven't mentioned, again, please comment below. I'm willing to read hundreds of comments, if there's something there that can help me or prepare me for the adventure that we're about to embark on. I really hope you all join me for this. Like I said, there should be a video at least every other day or every 3 days, depending on what the travel schedule looks like. And I'd love for you guys to come along and see how this trip is gonna turn out, and we'll see how much it costs in the end. And as we go along, I'll always update you on the rolling total for when I post up a new video. I'm leaving just a few days here, and it's gonna be fantastic. So thank you all for watching, and we'll see you real soon. And as always, let's keep those batteries charged.